Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another Feel Unique unboxing of the Pick and Mix selection that you can choose from their website. I did do this video a month ago, which I will link in the cards or in the description if you want to check it out. And basically how this system works is that it is kind of like a monthly subscription service in that you can only request the samples once a month. There are quite a few different products on there. There's high-end brands, there's also a few cheaper brands as well, but it is mainly high-end makeup, which is a great way to try it. The price for 5 samples is just the cost of the shipping, which is £3.95. You also then receive a voucher once your samples have been shipped, and that is to get your £3.95 back to spend on Feel Unique, which I think is a great deal. This video is going to be slightly different from last month's in that I am actually going to go over my thoughts on the products I have tried from last month's samples. Then I'll go into the samples that I chose for this month. If I remember, I will try and put timestamps below in case you just want to see what I picked this month and don't care what I thought about last month's products. I haven't tried everything that I picked last month, but I have tried most of it. I'll start with the things that I haven't tried, and the first one was this shampoo by Palmer's. I completely forgot about it, if I'm honest. I just have not had a chance to try it yet. The second thing I haven't tried is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. The reason I haven't tried this is because I'm not really sure what to do with it or how best to use it, so I'm gonna have a think and try and use that, but I will get back to you on that one. On to the 3 products that I did use, and the first one was this Estee Lauder Double Wear Primer. I recently got a sample of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation from Debenhams, so thought it would be perfect to pair it with this primer. I had worn the foundation previously on its own and did quite like it. It's not the best I've ever tried, and don't know if I could justify the cost of it because I personally think I've got drugstore ones that I prefer more, but I did not like it when I put this primer with it. This primer was so watery, and it is slightly, if you can see from where it's open there, it is a coloured primer, it's like skin coloured, so it is just in one shade, but I just found that it made the foundation patchy and sort of not stick in certain areas, if that makes sense. It just felt like it kind of it wasn't adhesive to the primer, it just kind of slipped all over, which for me is really strange considering this is the primer that's supposed to go with it. I've realised after trying this that I do like a more silicone based primer that isn't runny. This to me was just too runny, too watery. It took a long time to blend it into my skin before I felt like I could put the foundation on, and even then it just did not work, so I definitely would be repurchasing this, but at least I've tried it. The next thing was the Benefit Boying Industrial Strength Concealer, and I got this in the shade number 1, which I think is the right shade match for me, which is good, and I'm actually really enjoying using it. I don't think it covers my dark circles as good as my YSL Touche Eclat does, but on days when they're not as bad, it is a really good under eye concealer. Even though it's not the brightening one, which I think is a separate thing, I find it is quite brightening and it is a nice colour tone for my skin. As you can see, I have probably only used half of it. There's still quite a bit under this bubble of the packaging here, and there's still quite a bit left in what is here. I've probably used this a good 5 or 6 times, and a little really does go a long way, so I think I'm probably going to get a good 10 uses out of this sample, which to me is great. And if that's the case, if I do end up buying the full size one, it is going to last forever. But I do actually have this on my wish list at the moment because I think it would be a nice backup to have and use it alongside my Touche Eclat. So use that when my dark circles are really bad, and then just use this when I feel like a bit of brightening and I don't need to cover the purple. But from what I've tried so far, I would recommend this. The final thing that I picked up was this Givenchy liquid lipstick, and this is what I'm actually wearing now, and this is actually the first time I'm trying it because I kept looking at it in my drawer, looking at the colours, and apart from the pink one at the top, let me just show you here, obviously I took the brush out, apart from the pink one at the top, I was just like, I'm not going to wear these shades. Red to me is Christmas, so I wouldn't wear that one yet anyway, and this one is slightly scary or intimidating to me. So I thought I'd be brave and I've broke out the bottom one, and that's what this is now. I don't think this is a colour that I've ever worn on my lips before, and if I'm honest, I'm pretty self-conscious about it because it is quite out there for me. I will happily wear a dark shade, but this is quite a bright dark shade. Definitely not the same colour as it looks in there, but if you can see inside, I've barely made a dent in that, and I've covered my lips, and I did give it quite a few coats. It is a strange consistency, and I don't know if that's to do with the brush that you use or the actual liquid itself. It does go on slightly patchy and it does take a good few coats. The brush also isn't the best for precision, so I think I might have to see if I've got a normal lip brush. Plus, because I have kind of gone in with darker shade first, the brush is now covered in that shade, and I think I'm just going to struggle to get it out to try this shade. I haven't tried applying it with my finger. That might be something that I will try as well, but I think these samples are definitely going to last me a while because of the fact of how little I've taken out, and when I opened it the bullets are full to the top, so definitely worth the £3.95 that I spent for this array of samples. So that is my thoughts on last month's samples. Now to get into what I picked for this month. I picked up a couple of skincare items because I am really trying to get a decent skincare routine going, because literally up until a couple of months ago it was non-existent, but getting back into Triangle, the subscription service, and actually using the samples that I was receiving, I've now got a routine that I think my skin is thanking me for, because I've found that my dry patches aren't as bad anymore, my fine lines aren't as bad anymore, my skin generally without makeup looks a lot better than it did. I don't know why I didn't start sooner, to be honest. The first thing that I ordered was this Ren Rosa Centifolia No. 1 Purity Cleansing Balm, and that's how this looks. And if the light shines through there, I don't know if you'll be able to see, it feels very light, and I don't think it's very full. It does say it's 5ml, but I just don't think this is a very full sample at all, so we'll see how much use I get out of this, but I think based on the lightness I might be lucky to get one wash, if not two, out of it. So it just says rub between the palms of the hands, massage over a dry face and neck, and then add a little warm water and remove with a cloth. I haven't used the cleansing balm before, and it was something that I did want to try. I usually just use a facial wash or micellar water, or generally like eye makeup remover. I've never used an actual balm, so I am intrigued to try this. I have made a note of the costs like I did last time. So this one retails for £25 for 100ml, and like I said, this is a 5ml sample. Based on my rubbish maths, I think this is worth £1.25. I can't remember how I did my workings out last time, so as I was about to sit down and film, I realised I hadn't done my workings out, so I did very quickly work them out, so I might be completely wrong, because what I've worked out, things seem quite expensive, but they are high-end brands, so I don't know, but if my maths is wrong, please let me know below. The next skincare item that I picked up was by the brand Bioderma, and this is the Atoderm Ultra Rich Foaming Gel, and I think this is just a face wash. I've just noticed on the back that this says you may actually use it on newborns but not premature infants, which is really specific. I've never seen that before. Not even on a baby product have I seen it say you can use it for infants but not premature babies. So I don't know what's in it that isn't good enough for premature babies, but it's obviously good enough for an adult skin. So this is a 8ml sample, and this does feel like it is pretty full, which is good. And a 200ml bottle of this is £9, meaning that this sample should only be 36p, but still not too bad. I have a few makeup items, and I've gone for more complexion makeup again. That is all they tend to have. They never seem to have like mascara samples or eyeshadow samples, anything like that. It is more the lines of complexion, like foundation and concealer and things, which you can try. But I suppose if you are wanting to delve into a high-end foundation, that is perfect, because you can order things like I've ordered and find your perfect shade match, but also see if it's any good by wearing it for a day or however many uses you get out of the sample before you spend your hard-earned cash on a high-end bottle. The first thing I got was another concealer, and this is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer. and it says it is weightless with medium to full coverage, crease transfer and water resistant for 12 hours of long wear, conceals dark circles, which is what I need, imperfections while blurring the look of fine lines, so that ticks all the boxes for me. So this comes in the 3 shades, which is 1N, 2W and 4N. Now obviously, even though I am going to work out the cost of the sample as a whole, you're obviously not going to be able to use the sample as a whole because you're only going to be able to use your skin tone. But obviously they do come in tear off strips, so anything that isn't your shade you can pass on to a friend, but it's still a good way to try different foundation samples. It does say that this comes in 12 shades, so the ones that they've included here are the 2nd lightest, the 5th lightest, and then the 4th from the end of the darkest ones. So a fair range of the shades that they have. I probably am going to be either 1N or 2W. 4N is definitely going to be too dark for me. But I recently tried a sample of the Laura Mercier setting powder and I did really like it, so that's why I've picked this, because I like the brand. And if the sample size is anything to go by the Benefit concealer, then these will last me a good few uses, which is a good way to try the products out. So the full size of this concealer retails for £24 for 7 grams, and each one of these bubbles is 0.15 grams or mils, which I calculate to be £1.54, so it is roughly 50p a sample. And like I say, I think I might get use out of both of these, to be honest, because I think they're probably, my skin's somewhere in the middle of them, so I will get use of £1 worth of the sample. Then in the same vein, I also picked the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wear Foundation because I thought it would be a good way to pair with the concealer, because they are obviously made for each other kind of thing, to see how they go, and hopefully there's enough of a sample that I can try them together and on their own. So this comes with 3 shades, and it also comes with a primer, which I thought was really good. I didn't know that it was coming with a primer, but it is a great way to try. Hopefully again I'll have enough to try a bit without and a bit with. The shades we have here are 1N2 Vanilla, 3N1 Buff and 5N1 Pecan. Obviously Pecan is going to be well too dark for me, and I think Buff is as well, so out of this I'm probably only going to be able to try Vanilla, but they do look like they are decent sized samples, and I don't tend to put a thick coat of foundation on, so I might get 1 or 2 uses out of it. But it does claim to be 50 an hour wear, medium to full coverage, weightless matte finish, oil free and transfer resistant. And then the foundation primer, it says, is oil free. And this comes in 20 shades for the full range, which isn't the best shade range, but I have seen worse, i.e. recent Benefit foundation. So the foundation retails for £35 for 30ml, and these blisters are 0.5ml each, so the 3 of them comes to £1.75. Obviously I'm only going to be able to use 1. I can't divide £1.75 by 3 in my head and I haven't written it down. So then the primer is £30 for 50ml, so this is roughly a 30p sample, but again I think you might get a couple of uses out of this because it does look like the bubble is quite full. The final thing I picked up was the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. I've heard so many good things about this and really wanted to try it, but just couldn't push the button on purchasing a high-end foundation. So this one comes with 6 different shades, 2, 3.5, 4, 6, 7 and 9. So I would say my skin tone is probably 2. 3.5 on is probably going to be too dark, but we will try it and see. And this says that it comes in 24 shades, which again is not great, but it's not the worst. And this one claims to be full coverage, long wear, matte finish, waterproof and oil free. Each one of these samples is 0.4 grams, so slightly less than the Laura Mercier one, but to me these samples look really small. I think they even look smaller than the concealer, even though according to the grams they're not. But I think I might struggle to get one full face out of that small tiny blister of foundation, so maybe this is literally to colour match, because it does say find your perfect match, so maybe this isn't enough for a full face, which I was hoping to be able to try get a full face and be able to wear it for a whole day, but we'll see. Until I try it, I don't know how far it's going to go. This full size is £29.50 for 30ml. So these 0.4 gram samples come to a total of £2.36. Again, I didn't break it down to per shade, so I'll either put that on the screen, or you can work it out yourself. So yeah, I do really want to try this, but I'm slightly disappointed by the sample size because I just don't think it is going to give me a full face. But if I can at least try and see what a patch of it is like on my skin, then maybe I'll be able to get a slight impression of it. Just sat down to film my next video, so ignore the change of lip colour. I also realised that I filmed that entire video not wearing any mascara. Don't know how I managed that, but I just had to insert myself. This is kind of editing me. I worked out that the total cost of all the samples came to £7.56, which is not quite double the price that I paid, but not far off. So that is a really good price for the samples at face value. But obviously when you break it down to the fact that the shades there that I can't use, it's not worth as much in that respect. But still, if I, for example, would be able to pass the shades I can't use to my friends and every single sample shade got used, then it is definitely worth the money. And like I said at the beginning, you do get the money back anyway, so it's not a complete loss. So just wanted to stick this in here and onto my outro. That is it for all the products that I picked in this month's box, and also my thoughts on last month's box. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks!